In today's video, we'll be covering Certificate in Regulatory Equity Release, also known as CIRA, which is one of the main qualifications for equity release advisors. As mentioned, CIRA is one of the main qualifications for equity release advisors and is required by companies to provide equity release advice. CIRA can also be taken by mortgage advisors looking to upskill and add an additional service to benefit their clients. Simply Academy state, CIRA is the regulatory qualification you will need to be able to advise clients who wish to release capital in their property with an agreement to repay the money in the future while they still reside at the property. The CIRA qualification will equip you with the in-depth knowledge required to provide sound financial advice to your clients, including the legal and regulatory considerations. But first, let's provide some context on equity release advisors. The Telegraph state that an equity release advisor can recommend the products that protect your estate from additional costs. They will also provide a detailed projection showing how much the plan will cost over your lifetime, so you understand the financial implications of your decision. From our data, we can see at the time of recording, equity release advisors can on average expect a basic salary ranging from $31,000 to $35,200. Employed advisors can expect an on-target earnings of between $46,250 and $48,750, whereas self-employed advisors can expect to earn around $50,000 and in some cases up to £100,000. In order to complete CIRA, you must first have a recognised mortgage qualification, such as CMAP or Certificate in Mortgage Advice, something that we have covered extensively in recent content, which we will link down in the description box below. When you do start the qualification, your studies will cover the impact of equity release schemes on customers' future options, the FCA regulatory explanation of a lifetime mortgage and a home reversion plan, how to match different types of equity release schemes to your customers' needs, the suitability and affordability of the different types of equity release schemes, the relative advantages and disadvantages of the different types of equity release arrangements and alternatives, how to assess the risks to customers who take out equity release schemes and when these might arise, the rules relating to state benefits as well as taxation. This content will be covered in the 2 units for CIRA, presuming that you already hold CMAP or an equivalent mortgage advice qualification. These units are Unit 1, Fundamentals of Equity Release, and Unit 2, Equity Release Solutions. Unit 1, Fundamentals of Equity Release, covers the market, which includes schemes and regulations, with the goal to get you up to speed with the industry, how it works, and what customers want. Unit 2, Equity Release Solutions, dives more into pragmatic ways of dealing with clients, covering the specifics of products and providing assessments of customers' needs. Both of these units aim to equip you with everything you need to have a long and successful career as an equity release advisor. With this qualification, you are assessed at the end of each unit rather than a coursework-based approach. For Unit 1, you will have to complete a 50-question multiple choice exam, and for Unit 2, you'll be faced with 3 case studies, each with 10 linked multiple choice questions. The benefit here is that you can choose when to take your exam and pick from test centres nationwide or through remote invigilation. You will have 12 months from when you register to complete each module and sit the exam, although the LIBF state that the average time to complete the qualification is around 6 months. Your first exam is included in the registration fee for each unit, meaning you only have to pay a resit fee if you fail the exam. But more on this later. When you have successfully completed all units, the LIBF will post your qualification certificate to you. So in terms of how to study for this qualification, CIRA study can be approached in much of the same way as other qualifications from the LIBF, in that it is predominantly focused on multiple choice questions. This means that you need to focus on absorbing and retaining as much information as possible for the exam. Previously, the advice we have given for these types of assessments is 1. Know the content. Although this may sound obvious, this is even more important because you can't make up for a lack of knowledge by using good writing technique as you could in other exams. Multiple choice questions are black and white in that if you're right, you're right. There are no partial marks awarded for partial understanding. 2. Create a study schedule. View this as a plan that will get you to the point where you ace the exam. Utilise the known study techniques to your advantage to ensure that you're working smarter and not harder. Finally, create your own questions. A great way to recap your learnings by creating practice questions for yourself. When you receive the study guide, it is advisable that you work through the text and create a note of all the important information. A good way of doing this would be to use cue cards, writing the question on one side and the answer on the other. Then, after you've studied, you can test your recall by going through the questions, calling out the answers and flipping the card over to see if you got the answer right. Another way of creating this is through using the headings or subheadings of the study material for inspiration. There are loads more great resources with more information regarding how to answer multiple choice questions, so it can be worth going through these to see if you get any inspiration. The main cost of CIRA is the low registration fee of £220, which will include your study materials and exam entry. Optional costs can also be incurred, such as additional study materials at £28 per paper, CIRA revision videos, which are £99 for the series. Additional costs can be incurred, including the previously mentioned exam resit fee of £160. Some frequently asked questions of CIRA before we wrap up.
So I know you've covered it a lot today, but what do equity release advisors actually do?
So in terms of what an equity release advisor does is they'll speak to clients. A lot of the companies we work with have pre-qualified leads provided and potentially even booked appointments, and so they would have a conversation with that client and undertake a fact find to really understand what are they trying to achieve with the equity release. Is it the right product for them at the right time in their life with the equity release equity they have in their property at the time, and undertake that fact find. In a similar way to all the other types of advisors, mortgage advisors and financial advisors, they'll go away and do research on the available products, whether that's their single tied or whole of market. They will review the products they've got access to, and then look to make a recommendation of the appropriate product that is most appropriate for that client, and then would present that during a meeting, either in person or potentially virtually via video or telephone, and then follow that up with a suitability letter. And if the client is happy, then obviously it would proceed, and that's when the business would then get submitted. And it depends whether that advisor has administrative support or not as to then what the involvement is post advice. For instance, if they have admin support, that's normally when that kicks in, whereas if they don't, they'll then have to sort of be processing and seeing that through all the way to completion.
So I know today we've been covering CIRA, but what are the other main qualifications for equity release advisors?
So the other main qualifications is obviously the CMAP that we've already discussed, that normally goes hand in hand with the CIRA because they're both provided by the LIBF. Then as an alternative to that, you've got the CII qualifications, which is ER1, which is the equivalent to CIRA, and then you've got the certificate in mortgage advice, which is typically built by CF1 and CF6 together, which is then the equivalent of CMAP. So you've got the two different routes. You can go down via LIBF or CII.
And would someone look to become a equity release advisor need both of those, or how would that work?
No, you'd only need sort of one, in the same way a mortgage advisor only needs CMAP or certificate in mortgage advice. There isn't really that much merit in going off and getting both, because it covers the same sort of products and the same knowledge, and you only need the one to be able to become qualified to do the job.
So I know that in order to become an equity release advisor, you have to gain your CMAP qualification, which is for mortgage advisors. Will that mean that equity release advisors have to provide mortgage advice as well?
There's no straight answer for this. It really depends on the company you're part of. Some of the equity release roles we have at the moment, it will just be equity release products, so that's home reversion plans or lifetime mortgages. But we do have other equity release advisor roles where the business has ability to provide mortgage advice, and it would be seen as an opportunity that if it's appropriate for the client to have mortgage advice, such as later life lending, then the mortgage advisor or the equity release advisor can provide that advice. So yeah, there is no real straight answer to that. It's mainly dependent on the company you're part of. But by having the CMAP as well, you've got the wider understanding, and should you be able to provide the advice and it's more appropriate for the client, then you can just proceed and do that.
So you touched on it there with the lifetime mortgage, but what is the difference between a lifetime mortgage advisor and an equity release advisor? Is there a difference?
There could be a difference. It would likely be that a lifetime mortgage advisor would solely or potentially exclusively focus on the lifetime mortgages products that are being offered, whereas an equity release advisor would more likely cover both, in that they'll cover lifetime mortgages and home reversion plans. It might be that the companies just use different terminology, but my sort of understanding and view would be a lifetime mortgage advisor just does lifetime mortgages, equity release does both types.
So working day to day with the vacancies coming in, I can see there's a lot of equity release advisor vacancies coming in. What does the actual job market right now look like for equity release advisors?
Yeah, really buoyant. We're seeing a lot of growth within the big players in the market for equity release. A number of that I speak to are looking to pump millions of pounds into marketing in 2022 to really drive through leads and get those pre-qualified and have them being booked appointments for their equity release advisors. And so it's a really good market right now, and because of that they're looking at sizable growth. We're seeing sort of 30% growth size in advisor headcount within large equity release firms, which we're really pleased to be working with and can see opportunity. So that's really positive. Also what we're seeing at the moment is our equity release companies are approaching the job market by looking to help offer upskilling to individuals. So that could be a mortgage advisor looking to move into equity release for the first time, that they're offering that opportunity. And we're even seeing some clients look to offer people who've never provided equity release before, never provided mortgage advice before either, potentially, who are quite fresh to financial services and change career, and they'll give them all the training to be able to become very successful in a short space of time, because there's such growth opportunity, and also that they want to get new blood into the industry. So I think things are very positive. The equity release industry did well during the COVID years, and is now really seeing a growth spurt as we come out of COVID.
Do you think there's a reason for that at all, that we're seeing the growth spurt now in 2022?
There could be a number of different factors to do with that. Different people you speak to within the industry would say different things. I think it was just on quite quiet during the COVID period, as people were nervous during that, and now people are having more confidence and the economy is bouncing back. That then equity release is picking up, and it could also be that COVID's meant that people reevaluate their long-term goals as well. Changes in inflation rate can always have an impact on the equity release as well. So yeah, there's a whole load of factors. I think it's just a little bit of everything's working towards it being quite positive. On another note, we do currently have a fantastic trainee equity release advisor role, so have a look at this.
We have just had an amazing opportunity to recruit over 40 new trainee equity release advisors to join one of the UK's leading equity release specialists. This is a fantastic opportunity, as this role could suit individuals seeking a career change, people looking to return to financial services, or mortgage advisors looking to step into equity release. This company has recently taken on 4 new employees with no equity release experience who are flourishing in this role. This is amazing, as it gives you the confidence that you could take the leap into equity release and still be successful.
Thanks for watching this week's video. If you have any questions, please drop them down in the comment section below, or contact us at inquiries@promonjobsuk.com or on 0208 0044 154